Hey, I'm a mechanical engineer, and this is my toilet monster. For years now, I've seen videos of this rubber toilet monster that goes underneath your toilet seat, and whenever you lift up the lid, the arms come out with it. The goal of such a product is to scare someone when they least expect it, and it seems to be doing a pretty good job at it. However, I thought it would do a lot for the scare factor if something jumped out at you instead of just having arms lift up. And that brings us to today's video, how to build a spring-loaded toilet monster. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So to begin, you're going to want to take a piece of paper and trace the outline of the inside of the toilet bowl. Once you have it traced, we'll then copy that design onto a 1/4-inch sheet of plywood and cut it out. Just like this. And as I'm sure you can see, it's not perfectly rounded, but it's going in the toilet, so I don't think anyone will care. Next, we'll want to attach 2-inch tall supports in a triangle shape along the edges of our board. Then I'll take 3 of these 1/8 of an inch thick boards and nail them to the top of our supports, making sure that each one has about an inch of extra material hanging over the edge. Like this. And these are actually the arms that are going to hold everything up and stop it from all falling into the pot. With the base plate now complete, we can begin to work on the deployment mechanism. To do this, I'm going to use a 1/2-inch dowel rod cut to 9 1/4 inches long, a 1/2-inch PVC pipe cut to 7 inches long, and 2 1/2-inch couplings. We'll now want to take the PVC pipe and cut a channel in it just wide enough to be able to fit the shaft of a screw into, like this. We can then attach the couplings to each side and glue them in place. You could of course use PVC glue for this, but since it's not that important of a job, I'm just going to use super glue. Next, we're going to want to take 2 small screws, both having a smooth neck, and we'll drill 2 small holes, one right on top of each other at the top of the dowel rod. Like so. We'll then insert the dowel rod into the PVC pipe, then drop both screws into their holes, then screw them in till nothing but their necks are showing. Next, we'll take a 3rd screw, just like the ones we put in the dowel rod, only this one we'll drill into the coupling, making sure to line it up with the channel. Just like this. And as you can see, I cut this screw down a little bit so it won't get in the way of the movement of the dowel rod. We'll now want to take a small wooden block and drill a 1/2-inch hole in it so that the dowel rod can snugly fit inside. And after putting a little bit of wood glue inside it, we'll go ahead and slide it on, making sure that the track is facing up. We'll then flip the whole assembly upside down and attach a small hinge to the end of the block. With the hinge and everything else mounted, this piece is now a little bit too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off about 1 inch of this top coupling since we're not using it for anything anyway. I will then mount it onto our base plate, using another 1/4-inch thick of plywood to lift up the back hinge to ensure everything lays flat. We'll then put a rubber band around the back and front screw, making sure to tie it off in such a way that when the rubber band's at rest, the arm is fully extended. We'll then cut off a 12-inch piece of string tying one end to the center screw, and the other end to a suction cup. And yes, this suction cup is a little overkill, but I had it sitting around, so I thought why not use it. And a minute ago, I know I told you to cut the rope to 12 inches, but that's only so we have enough rope to tie it with. In all reality, we only want about 6 inches in between the suction cup and the rod. Like this. And with that, the main mechanism of the toilet monster is now complete. To use it, you'll compress the arm and push it below the front block, then lift up both the toilet seat and lid, drop it in, put the toilet seat back down, lower the lid until you can attach the suction cup, and then close it all the way. Then the next time someone comes to use the toilet, they'll lift up the lid, which will in turn pull a rope, and the arm will deploy. Now this is somewhat startling as it is, but I don't want it to be startling, I want it to be horrifying. I want it to be, oh no, I soiled my pants, scary. I want people to be so frightened after experiencing this that they'll start wearing adult diapers because they have an irrational fear of toilets. I want this to be so scary that after the victim opens the lid, the only person they'll be interested in dating is a psychiatrist because they'll need therapy for the rest of their lives. But then again, I'll settle for just startling someone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this with an old sock, maybe an old shirt or something, and try to make it furry so then people think it's like a furry animal that crawled up through the sewer system or something. Put some eyes and teeth on it as well. Maybe attach these baby arms. Don't ask, I live a crazy life. Basically, just try to make this look as creepy and bizarre as possible. There really are no instructions on how to do this part. Just try to release your inner Toy Story Sid and let's see what we can come up with. And here is what I have come up with. It is a furry snake-like creature with freaky eyes and buck teeth that is mounted on top of an old dark blue t-shirt that helps distract from the wood and mechanics of it. I think this turned out pretty well, but enough talk, let's see if we can scare someone. Mission success. I think that truly did startle her. Granted, I think she kind of knew something was coming because it's not every day I'm like, hey mom, go look in the toilet. But still, I count that as a complete success. As I'm sure you heard, when this deploys, it is somewhat loud as well. And that's actually a good thing because it just adds to the confusion and scare factor. And something that's really cool about this is as soon as you scare one person, all you have to do is recock it and it's ready for the next victim. And there you have it, my homemade toilet monster. But hey, thank you so much for you guys watching. I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, please feel free to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you next Friday.
Thanks for watching, and please feel free to subscribe.